Hi, welcome to Module 5 of the Almond Butter Production course. And in this module, we're going to be talking about financial management and scaling. Now, the first thing you have to note in financial management is that there are production costs that are going to come up as you run this business. Now we have fixed costs and we have variable costs. Fixed costs are things like the cost of your equipment, the cost of rent, or the cost of getting an apartment, or the cost of, maybe revamping your kitchen for the purpose of this production or for the purpose of this business. Now, you have to understand your costs. You have the cost for the almonds, the cost for labor, for equipment, packaging, marketing, and then you have to like divide them into the fixed cost and the variable cost. Variable costs are costs that change with each production that you're doing. So say for example, the cost for almonds in this month was X amount, and then it moved up with maybe about 2% for the next 6 months. So now that is a variable cost because it is changing. But when you've gotten your equipment, you have that at least for a good number of years. So that is something that is not changing. And that variable cost could be your packaging materials. So maybe the pouches that you're using or the jars you're using um, might increase in cost. So that's a variable cost, and this actually impacts pricing. So you have to make sure that you break down these costs. You have to understand them and then how much it impacts your overall cost price. Also, another thing you have to note is the financial forecasting for your business. You have to create a financial projection where you estimate the sales, expenses, and the profits. Now, based on the variable cost, you obviously know that things are going might change. So you have to make an estimate, or in the next 5 years, where do we intend to be? This particular year, where do we see ourselves getting to in revenue? So you also have to make sure that you have that projection down, then also set achievable financial goals and regularly assess your performance. You don't want to put yourself in a situation where you are actually going and setting unrealistic goals for your business. Another thing you also have to note is managing your cash flow and reinvestment. So you have to monitor the cash flow that is coming into the business, whether it is by cash or whether it is maybe by transfers, or the different ways that you're getting the money from your customers. You also have to monitor that. Maybe you could use an app. There's so many apps these days that help you, to track your orders and then see how the business is going. So this is very important to ensure business sustainability. Also remember to reinvest your profits into equipment, marketing, or scaling operations. Now let's talk about scaling your almond butter business. You could expand your production through automation or an increased workforce. So say your demands are getting higher than you've expected. It is high time to bring on people on board. Do not be scared of doing that. You could also automate your process. So instead of maybe roasting in a pan or overheat, you can decide to scale to having a roaster, just to get things faster and get things done faster. And then also you could also consider new distribution channels, packagings, or flavors to grow. Thank you so much for coming to the end of this module. We have an activity for you. Using the cost breakdown you've learned, calculate an estimated price per bag of your almond based on production cost and desired profit margin. What factors would influence your pricing strategy? I look forward to seeing your responses. Thank you and see you in the next course.